coronavirus crisis has stalled live entertainment across the country, leading to millions of job losses behind the scenes.
Well, this pandemic has put an end to a lot of live events, from concerts and festivals to theatre and conferences.
Thousands of jobs and businesses are at risk in the live events industry due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Tonight, hundreds of buildings across the UK will turn red as employees of the live events industry call on the government for more support.
The industry says funding support is desperately needed.
The buildings being lit up in red tonight, more than 500 across the country, cover a huge part of the economy. The arts, conferences, trade shows, meetings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
When your camera is made by Kodak, you know it's good.
Tonight, I'd like to show you one of the world's great cameras.
Tonight, I'd like to show you a new idea in picture taking.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up.
I see the picture in my mind's eye, and I give it to you as the equivalent of what I saw and felt.
We choose to go to the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We will never forget that we are analog human beings.
My job is to be authentic.
We all love stories. We're born for them.
Coming to you live from Stratobox Studios in Manila, Philippines.
Sound of Silence vraagt geen geld. Wat we wel vragen is een visie, perspectief, vooruitzicht. Onze oranje kruisen op social media zijn niet meer genoeg.
Moving, inspiring, redefine moments to create lasting memories. Live events is an experience industry. We were the first to feel the impact of the crisis. We now stand united. We will rise together. With your support, we will experience live again.
Check. Hey guys, welcome back to Film Factor Podcast. My name is Francis. Tonight, we're back with Born in Film on air. But before we begin, again, we are live simulcast on IGTV and YouTube. So for our friends who are there, happy Sunday. Our hotline is now active. Don't forget to call us on Viber. At 63921-408-8898 or scan this QR code. We will be accepting questions and greetings for our guests later. Again, before we begin, we'd like to thank each of you for being a huge part of this passionate community. We now have 8,043 members across 81 countries and on our way to our next goal, which is 10,000 members worldwide. Not too long ago, began a series of live podcasts within Photo Nation. The very first one we aired on April 5, where we talked about the importance of printing with Alvin Lee. From there, we met photographers like Australian marine life photographer Darren Zhu from the Tales by Light series on Netflix, and Nikola Kostek, a passionate photographer from Belgrade, Serbia. We jumped from landscape photography with Fitzbore to the life of expat photographers with Arnold Apostol in Singapore. We also talked about women and the things they go through as photographers with Alex Ongkal, a Filipino photojournalist, Imbal Christine, a concept photographer from Israel, and Tranong Young, a Vietnamese nude photographer. All of these episodes can be seen on both our YouTube and Facebook page. They're also available on Spotify. Just search for Film Factor Podcast. New episodes are updated every Monday afternoon, Manila time, and early morning Eastern and Pacific US time, as well as Central European time. If you miss an episode, do check them out later. We have replays every Monday. On March 16, 2020, the government of the Philippines under President Rodrigo Duterte imposed an enhanced community quarantine or ECQ in Luzon, including its associated islands, restricting movement of the population except for groceries, work, and health emergencies in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. As a result, many industries have been severely affected, with the live events industry being one of the worst hit. There are approximately 400,000 displaced performers, workers, artists, including photographers. According to the National Live Events Coalition of the Philippines, the industry is projected to supposedly contribute to more than 200 billion pesos in gross revenue for the economy. It has been almost 7 months since the lockdown was implemented, and as time passes, new safety protocols get implemented, and the future of the live events industry remain uncertain. Tonight, we are joined by photographers from the industry working with your favorite OPM bands to talk about music photography and how they cope with the current situation and the future of the live events industry. Let's check this out.
Portraits have always been what interested you.
I'm happy to greet this gathering of motion picture engineers.
Art is photography, sharing, taking what you see and sharing it with others.
Don't be afraid, get out there, shoot some film.
I think Photo Nation can be a catalyst.
Photography is united.
Again, we're live simulcast on IGTV and YouTube. Don't forget to follow the page, join Photo Nation, and hit subscribe. Joining us tonight are music photographers Karen Dela Fuente, who works with Ben & Ben and Tide Edit, Nukie Timtiman, the official photographer of Munimuni, Kamara, and the Ridleys, together with Daniel Aguilar, a music photographer and the creative director of the band IV of Spades. Our topic for tonight is music photography and the future of the live events industry. And of course, after that, we'll have another episode of Masterclass. Well, let's try to welcome our guests for tonight. Again, we have Nukie, we have Karen, and Danielle. Hi guys, good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Dinig niyo ako?
Yeah, hello, good
Kamusta? Anong
evening.
balita sa inyo?
Hi.
Okay.
So, nasa isang podcast kami.
So yun, maybe we can start now. Maraming nanonood sa atin ngayon. Again, we have our friends who are into the live events industry, who are actually photographers who cover the concerts and the music scene. So guys, ang first question ko, why music photography at bakit kayo na-hook dito sa music photography? Siguro we can start with Daniel.
Why music photography? Kinulat mo na. Actually, parang ang intro ko talaga sa photography is through music photography talaga. And ayun, before kasi yung course ko sa college is multimedia arts, pero hindi naman talaga ako mahilig sa arts before. Tapos ayun, schoolmates kasi kami ni Zild, nung isang member ng band. And, di ba, multimedia arts ka? May camera ka, di ba? Sama ka sa gig na. So, yung intro ko talaga sa photography is music photography at the same time with IV of Spades. So, ayun. Kaya, nagtuloy-tuloy lang. And, yun doon ako nag-start. And, ewan ko, parang naging dire-diretso lang siya. Di ko masyadong in-expect na, na dito yung path na ito-take ko. Pero yun doon ako nagsimula. And in love ako dun sa music photography.
Okay. Nukie, ikaw, paano ka nagsimula? Ano yung nagdala sa'yo sa music photography?
Yeah, actually, I started like medyo photojournalism yung style because and then eventually like nahatak ako ng I have this obsession for the Beatles. So, and then I would look at their photos and then, this is magical. Like, times on the record nito. And then, this particular song, and I thought it's so nice to have those things captured, like, because that's history.
Yeah.
And then, like, my last year in college, I was classmates with Owen, of Munimuni. He casually mentioned that he has a band. We're in the process of recording an EP. And me, I got so excited. And then I asked, hey guys, maybe I could visit. Like, pwede ba akong tumalaw? Maybe I could take photos. And then sabi niya, okay, I'll ask permission. And then, he came back to me and then said, yeah, sure. They said yes. And then I met Munimuni sa isang recording studio. And then it was just really, really nice. Like, I was just there like thinking, this must have been like, to be in the 60s, like witnessing the Beatles, So from that point, like my friendship with Munimuni started there, and then until I had a vision, like God gave me a vision that I would be working with TJ, like one of the main songwriters of Munimuni, that I would be working with him side by side. And then I followed that like vision, like I told them that, and then eventually I found out that he has been praying for someone that he would also be working at least visually on the music. So from that point on, that I was invited to co-found Gorilla Records. Then that's it. How it started. Yeah.
Wow. So it's mahabang journey pala yun.
Yeah. Super long.
Karen, what about you? Why music photography and what gets you hooked into it?
Well, because I started as a fan of like going to concerts and going to live events talaga. Like high school pa lang, me and my sister would go to small gigs and then we'd watch concerts all the time. Tapos it wasn't really part of my plan to pursue photography actually. Tapos I joined in college. I joined Ateneo Musician School. Tapos we started shooting and then people started getting me for concerts. So parang it was a place where I can't realize na it was the best avenue for me to express myself. And para it's interesting din kasi na as a music photographer, you're shooting something, you're trying to translate an art form into a different medium. So parang yun yung hook niya for me.
Great. And we know na we're currently almost a whole year into this lockdown. Gaano siya naapektuhan yung pag-pursue nyo dito sa live events? Sa nakita nyo ano yung as a photographer, gaano kalaki yung impact niya? Lalo na ngayon, halos magdi-December na, naka-lockdown pa rin tayo. Maybe we can begin with Nukie.
Oh, yeah, I think everything was really halted. Like, I mean, obviously, like, events were canceled. So, I think what really, I don't know, like, almost 6 months now, right? Like, I honestly don't know where or how to look from at this point, because at this point, I don't think we're making any improvement. So, I think we had to be creative. I think since events is not there, like, wait, that doesn't mean the music production would stop. So it would also still be music videos, like shooting for single or album covers, something like that. You know.
So kailangan talaga maging you really have to
Yeah,
be creative.
yeah, like you have to pull different strings from your skill set.
Yeah.
And you have to look different areas now. Okay, this is gone. Where else could I go? Where else could I be? You know.
And Dan, ikaw, in your experience, especially na ikaw yung creative director ng IV of Spades, paano yung ano yung na-experience nyo within this lockdown period?
Sobrang parang paano ba yung experience? Parang soft blow. Parang kasi 'di ba, being the creative director, alam mo rin yung inside plans ng band, yung mga planong release, mga ganun. And paunti-unti, nawawalan na ng gigs, nagka-cancel na ng gigs. Then, at all, wala ng gigs. Then, hindi ka na pala pwedeng pumunta sa studio. Yung mga ganong bagay. So, soft blow siya. And parang nagulat rin tayo lahat na, di naman tatagal to, pero now, it's almost a year nga eh. So, parang change of plans talaga lahat. And as a photographer, yun nga, gaya ng sabi ni Nukie, you have to be creative. And yun, kailangan din natin yung mga artists, for example, iba rin, syempre bilang music photographers, naka-depend din tayo sa mga musicians na pinipicturean natin. And kahit sila, malaki yung effect ng pandemic na to sa kanila. So, and yun, pag nakakausap ko sila, yung mga artists, sila, yung boys, nahihirapan rin sila. So, yun, lahat tayo talaga nahihirapan. And yun, what we can do right now is be creative. And yun, try to stay creative pa rin.
Great. And then, Karen, I know na you normally go out with bands, lalo na pag sa road trips. Paano niya binago siguro yung pag-pursue mo nito sa music photography?
I think, because actually nag-start yung quarantine, it was supposed to be, for that week, it was supposed to be Wonderland. And then it was, like, I had my lineup of shows with Ben and Ben. And I think parang, it was medyo nakakagulat how everything, like, in your calendar just, like, kind of, like, faded away.
Yeah.
But yun nga, I think it's the same thing now. We have to be more innovative about it, and we have to readjust. And I think with Ben and Ben, so they decided to do a house move-in to continue making music and, like, do shows and, like, do gigs. So yun, it's also a matter of, like, readjusting and, like, restructuring lang to whatever's happening now.
And that's really important, lalo na And speaking of yun nga, being innovative and creative, ano naman as an artist or as a photographer, kayo naman, ano yung ginagawa niyo to sustain this para i-pursue pa rin kahit naka-pandemic tayo? Maybe we can begin with Daniel.
Ako, ngayon ko lang siya ginawa, pero nagtatry ako mag-self-portraits dito sa bahay with the lights, the minimal lights and minimal equipment that I have. Tapos, na-inspire ako kay Zild na gumawa ng solo project niya, and solo album. He did everything at home, yung mula recording and mula tapos yung pinamix lang niya sa kaibigan lang rin niya yung mga tracks, gano'n. And yung mga music videos na ginawa namin sa bahay lang rin niya. So, parang nag-mini Ben and Ben kami ni Zild. Parang nakakulong ako sa kaila Zild for mga 1 week siguro. More than tapos shoot namin yung mga MVs na lumabas. And yun, very very nakaka-inspire rin. Tsaka, yun nga, meron ding creativity na lumalabas with the limitations na binibigay nitong pandemic. Kailangan mo lang medyo i-squeeze yung
And Nukie, ikaw naman, ano yung pinagkakaabalahan mo ngayon?
Recently I just did I was part of a production music video for Kiko Necesario. So in this very spot where I'm sitting, so we shot here a chroma. I think it will be released tomorrow. So abangan nyo na lang. And, so I stayed here sa studio ng friend ko for a week then Daniel. And then we just sort of edited stuff, shot here. We did lots of things that we couldn't do normally outside. So ayun yun. Luckily, I get invited for projects.
Great. And then Karen, ikaw naman, in terms of kailangan mong gawin, I mean to sustain this, what are the things that you do to sustain this, especially that yun nga, walang gigs and walang live events?
Well, currently nasa Ben and Ben house ako, so most of the projects are really under Ben and Ben. And then because we also have a photography studio and it's also still working. I mean, it's still active. So, ayun, it's mostly trying to figure out how to run operations from here also.
So, yun nga, kumbaga napakalaking impact sa atin. So, in terms of talking about impacts, moving forward, do you think there will be lasting effects from this pandemic? And in terms of shooting or even attending gigs, what are some of the things that you see will be adapted in the future? Baka you can baka tungkol sa how people attend gigs, baka magbabago 'yon. So kayo nasa point kasi tayo ng kumbaga magbabago ba lahat or babalik ulit sa dati? So kayo, what do you think? What can you say about that? Maybe you can begin with Nukie.
Well, first thing I would be concerned about is I think the culture of mosh pit will die. So, I mean, everyone is beginning to cringe whenever they're close to someone else. So, I think most gigs now would maybe half their attendance. Most venues would only have attendance, and then I guess that would also affect the revenue and profits of bands and productions. So I think that would also have an effect on maybe the size of each event. Maybe. Yeah.
And ikaw naman, Dan, do you think babalik sa dati or may i-adapt ba itong mga changes na to?
Ako kasi hopeful talaga ako na babalik siya to normal. Although it will definitely take a long time. Sabi nga sa video kanina, tayo yung last na mag-industry na last na magre-rebuild. Siguro yun nga gaya ng sabi ni Nukie, very limited. And siguro online shows, ganon. Talaga eh. Tsaka nanonood ako ng podcasts rin ng mga live event people, mga directors, ganon. Siguro ang mga nakikita nilang solution sa episode na yun na nakita ko is everyone has to adjust talaga. Yung mga suppliers, mga all directors, siguro lahat ng rates bababa, ganun. Ano talaga, so everyone will adjust. And ayun, so ano ba, yung will the safety come at a cost? Or parang hirap di ba? Kasi mas mahal ba siya kasi may safety precautions, or mas mura kasi kailangan magbuhay ng mga tao behind the scenes ng event. So, hirap.
Oo nga eh. And ikaw, Karen, what do you think?
Well, feeling ko rin kasi I believe in the grit of the music scene and how like it has adjusted throughout time. I think dun sa like sinabi na rin nila Dan na parang it's a matter of readjusting din. But also parang important that we take care of each other first before and wanting to like see each other live in the same setup as before.
Oo nga.
So feeling ko yun, it's madaling mag-adjust ang music scene sa Philippines because intense yung grit natin.
Yeah.
I think kitang-kita din naman yun from past experiences.
Oo nga. And yun, so on that note, we'll take Nag-break lang tayo sandali. We'll be back with your favorite photographers, and together, let's look at their works on the podcast tonight.
We make events, and we are tens of thousands of people, and we need help, and we need it now. We must pass the Restart Act and extend PUA. Because if we don't, those tens of thousands of people may no longer have a stage to light. We make events, and we need your help because we are on red alert.
Again, we are back. Again, don't forget to follow the page, join Photo Nation, and share this live podcast. Let's now know more about our guests. Maybe we can begin with Karen Dela Fuente, who works with Ben and Ben and Tide Edit. Karen has been shooting music for 9 years. And photography for her became an avenue to express herself. She says that people can somehow hear music in photographs. Since music is an art that speaks of human experience, music photography should also be able to connect and tell stories. So ito na, balik na natin siya. Hi, Karen!
Hello.
Hi, hello. Wait lang let me just...
Hello.
There. So, Karen! So, in
Yes.
terms of... Ayan, tuloy natin. You work with Ben and Ben and Tide Edit. What are some of the things you love about working with these bands?
Oh, honestly, they're very genuine people. Parang, kasi si Tide Edit and Ben are the two bands na I've worked with na medyo mas matagal. And like, on tours, like outside of the country and then to provinces. And parang knowing and seeing kasi how they create their music and how like they interact with everyone around them. Actually, pati the relationships they've built in the band and like with their teams. Parang they see how you see how inclusive they are and you see how genuine they are. And there's always this drive to evolve and create and innovate na parang it inspires me as a photographer also. And yun, I think it's a nice place to be in when you shoot um bands like that.
For ano naman, for Tide Edit, what do you love about that band?
Parehas, Tide Edit is also the same way, yeah. And like super makulit people also.
Oo nga. And I think si Clarence ata nanonood ngayon. Anyway.
Clarence!
Yun. So, Karen, maybe you have some tips for our viewers who are or might want to be into music photography. Can you share your top 3 tips for them?
Okay. So first, siguro is to be open to collaborating with bands. You can pitch to the bands that you like that you can work with. If you have crazy ideas, especially now na we have so much time to research and like find inspiration from a lot of other places. So parang don't be scared um, to message the bands that you want to work with and collaborate with them. So one more is to listen to music. I think yun yung isa sa since yun yung ground yun din yung root ko like when it comes to music photography parang build this certain connection with music na will make you realize why you're there, will remind you why you're shooting, and get to know people behind the scenes. I've said before na the community na music builds, the scenes that music builds is one of the most important things na napaproduce ng music, because it's a collaboration of people from different industries with a goal to like spread music and like spread this art form.
Kumbaga all for the love of what you do.
Yes.
Pursuing your passion. Karen, you usually cover with bands on the road or in concerts or in mall tours. What tips can you give when shooting? Kapag medyo maraming tao, when it's crowded, ano yung ma-share mo na in terms of experience being able to capture that?
Okay. Favorite thing ko siguro na na-realize ko nung Limasawa Street Tour with Ben and Ben was to make sure that I have the set list on my phone as my wallpaper as a guide. So parang first thing that I do when I get to a venue is to check where I can go. So there's already like a planning of where I'm gonna position myself in this song or ano yung specific thing that I'll take during this song. So parang there's a flow para it's easier for me to think creatively. It's easier for me to think outside the box habang nag-shoot na ako because there's already like a structure na I'm following.
Ganda.
And then maybe think like your gear. Parang kunyari you have 3 lenses with you. Since sobrang if maraming tao, most of the time you kind of get overwhelmed with like what equipment to use. So parang what I try to do is like imagine how some lenses would look like. So it's easier to like, I am 50 ako dito or like 135 ako dito, parang ganun. So medyo mas mabilis because like you have a limited time din kasi pag music sets eh.
Yeah.
So ayun. And then be nice to people. I think yun din, be nice to the audience, be nice to the fans who are there kasi it's their show also. And you're there to document that connection between the band and the fans. And they're part of that show.
Oo. Sorry. And I believe yun nga isa sa mga pinaka-importanting bagay, lalo na when you cover events. Speaking of concerts, let's now look at the photos that Karen has sent us. I believe marami na mga excited makita yung mga photos ni Karen. Hold on. I'll just cue this on screen. Hold on. There. So again, for those who are watching, if you haven't followed Karen yet, you can go to Instagram. It's at Rocket. I believe marami nang nagko-comment dito. And then her Facebook is at or facebook.com/KDLFphoto, and her website is karendelafuente.com. So let's dive into your first photo, Karen.
Okay.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Okay, this is good. This is a photo from the tour, from the Misawa Street tour. This is Ben and Ben. It's probably one of my favorites then from the tour kasi like if you're a listener, you would know their songs to be a little bit more on the mellow side. Pero if you watch them live, it's a super different energy. Like there's really this connection and there's really this like really big energy when Ben and Ben performs. So parang I just wanted that for this certain photo. Just wanted to show that for this photo.
Ganda. Ang dami nagla-like. Actually, ito nag-heart emoji. And your next photo?
This was Tide Edit. Tide Edit when I was with them in Japan. So we had like a couple of shows there. Tapos, like, because one of the things then that I do when I shoot bands, especially on tour, is to do some portraits of them. So this one's very, parang on the go portrait. Parang this was just behind the scene. It was just backstage photo pala.
Ganda. And then your next one. Ito, si Tide Edit din.
Tide Edit din is also in Japan. Parang what I love actually about working with Tide Edit is that they're super open to me exploring different styles in photographs. So mas like they're game to do the more experimental or like mas crazy layout. So parang ayun.
Karen, may pumasok na question. Medyo showbiz. Yung tanong niya, si Ian Cadiz, sabi niya, hello Ate Karen,
Hello.
Sino ang pinaka-photogenic sa Ben and Ben?
Sino pinaka-photogenic sa Ben and Ben?
Sino daw?
Sabi ni Andrew si Andrew daw.
Ayan, okay. So, let's move on. Wait lang Pakita ko lang yung balik tayo sa mga photos.
Okay.
And your next photo.
Okay. Yeah, like I was saying kanina na parang I love taking band portraits backstage, and this one was from Spur of the Moment. No, this was from Fête de la Musique. It's a photo of Tarsius, and because we only had like a small space na medyo backstage lang. I had to figure out a way to make them different, pero to still make it look like it's a Tarsius photo. So, ayan. Kami experimented with that.
May nag-comment ulit. Sabi niya, Rocket, sino sa 9 favorite mong kunan? Sino sa Big 9 daw?
Ang dahil. Pressure. Sino sa 9 bands yung favorite kong kunan? Si Jam.
Yun. Tapos, we have a question about taking photos. How many cameras do you usually bring on tours?
On tours, I have minimum 2 cameras with me.
And
kasi different lenses na siya. So, easy to...
Yeah. And
usually the setup.
We have another question. Hello, Ate Karen. Ano yung editing apps na ginagamit mo sa mga pictures? Or baka yung go-to mo siguro?
Usually edit in Lightroom. Ayan. madalas Lightroom. And then, for mobile apps, teka, titignan ko.
Sige, go ahead.
Like I have Afterlight and RNI. So, ayun. For experimenting lang.
Ginagamit ko din yun pang ganda yung mga light leaks niya. Yung,
Afterlight.
Oo. Yun, okay. So, let's go back to your photos. Hold on. Your next photo is... Go.
This one's during the Laney concert. The first, I think, Araneta Laney concert. I was shooting for Carpos. I think what I love about this photo is I really like color talaga. Like it's important. It's an important element to me when I edit. And ito medyo boost lang siya ng onte. And like it's also how like when you shoot you also interact with visuals ng bands. So ayun. I like this photo.
And ito, may question ulit about lenses naman. Ano daw yung most used lens mo?
Most used lens? I started with a 50. And I think ngayon, most used ko pa rin yung 50 1.2. But with concerts, it's usually a wide angle or a 135.
Ayun. And speaking of prime lenses, is 1.4 daw, is it required or will 2.8 do in dark situations?
Okay to use mga 1.4, 1.8, and 2. Kasi, especially low light pag bar gigs, 2.8, you can stretch it pa. So I think that's still fine.
Great.
But if you have like lenses with apertures like na nasa range ng 1.4 to 2, it's best to use for the bar gigs.
Kasi low light, no? And the next one, ito. Go ahead.
This was taken during the during the 20th anniversary concert of Sandwich. Honestly, saya to shoot Sandwich all the time because they're very like magulo as a band, and like you get, and it's a very it's high energy, and it's parang nata-transfer sa'yo that type of energy. So parang ayun, this was a play on lights lang din and silhouettes.
Ganda. And then your next one.
Yes. I also shot for the 20th anniversary concert ng Sandwich na promo mats. So we did this one in Escolta, and it's actually one of my favorite band portraits din kasi we were standing lang like for like 10 to 20 minutes trying to like nag-aabang lang din kami ng jeep to pass by. So, ayun. It's one of I really like this photo din. And nagulat lang din ako how it turned out. I wasn't really like planning for it to look like that.
Ganda.
I was thinking like sa gilid nga lang dapat yung jeep, pero nasaktahan.
Minsan yung mga split second na gano'n, yun yung mga magaganda talaga. Okay. And your next one.
Reese. So we shot this for Reese's album, Arigato Internet, for the album cover. Reese kasi is one of my longtime friends from school din, and siya actually yung training ko for portraits. So ito, just naturally Reese. Not much directing even. Sobrang naturally just her in the sea. Parang ganun.
Okay, and your next one?
This was from Wonderland, Masego. Actually, saya nito. I was using the Canon EOS RP. So, sobrang sarap niya actually gamitin. It was a fun set. It was a very very chill set. Tapos parang most of the photos lang din there was um parang saktuhan ng lighting. So I think one of the things that as music photographers that natitrain sa amin is to observe how observe the movement of lights and observe the behavior of the stage. Parang timing is always key.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. And your next one?
This was 1975 in MOA Arena. And I think for concert photographers then who shoot in MOA Arena, we all know that the photo pit is is across the stage. So that's like the lower box area or upper box area na nasa kabilang side of the arena. I was using I think a 70 to 200, sagad 200 to. Tapos wala. But what I like about this photo is the part of the audience actually. Because you can see them. Parang, ayun.
Ganda. And then your next one.
This is an on-cam double exposure of Yuna from Wonderland also. Tapos, this, like the first layer, shoot ko siya and I really wanted to wait for the next layer, which is the one where she's holding, next layer is the one on the left. So I wanted to wait for that moment para sakto siyang na on-cam na multi. Ayun.
Ganda. Hindi natatapos yung mga heart emojis mo. Next, your next photo. Go.
This one of my first few years of shooting concerts ko pa to. This was the National 2014. Tapos, I think if you do listen to the National, medyo ganito rin yung vibe in general, which is what I wanted it to also look like. And also the lighting setup is very playful but also very solemn. Yeah. So I like the lighting for this concert.
Very dramatic. And your next one. I believe ito na yung last. Go ahead.
Okay. Ito Phoenix in Kia Theater. Using a lens baby.
Talaga?
Yes. Parang I actually like playing with lenses din, and like the lens baby is one of my favorite lenses too. Kasi parang meron siya ibang effect, which is just something different.
Na siya lang yung kayang gumawa, no?
Yeah.
Ito, Karen,
Yes.
before we move on, we have one question from Francis. Sabi niya, Ate
Hello.
Karen, if you have your phone with you, what's your favorite photo in your gallery that is captured using your phone? Ano daw yung phone? Yan.
Grabe, wait lang. Let me check.
Yan. Sige, go ahead.
Oh, wow. Wait lang. Feeling ko meron.
Or siguro kahit
Madalas kasi,
go ahead.
I really do take random photos with my phone. Para kasi, sobrang hina, actually medyo mahina yung memory ko. So parang it's also like a scrapbook of sorts. I think this one. Okay, how do I show you?
Sige lang, just
Let's show this.
Yan, sige, go.
This one, I edited on my phone na rin.
Wow, ang ganda.
Yes, this one.
Ang ganda.
Gusto ko yung ayan.
Ang daming heart. Anyway, ito, we have another one from Ella. Sabi niya, Karen, nagbibigayan po ba kayo ng tips ni Tony Munoz when it comes to photography? Yan, si Tony. Go ahead.
O naman, Lodi ko yun eh. Si Tony is like, actually, if we describe her type of photography, very soulful. Mabigat, may depth. And I think, fun actually to work with Tony kasi kaya na magbatuhan ng ideas. Especially here in the house. So, ayun.
Tsaka very creative din si Tony kasi nga nag-gulomography siya, no?
Yes.
Oo. Yan. Okay.
Tony Moons.
Yun. So, hold on. Let me just punta naman tayo sa mga behind the scenes ni Karen. And
Oh no.
yan, for those who are watching, we also asked them to send us yung mga behind the scenes para we get to understand how it feels like behind the scenes, na backstage, para maintindihan natin kung ano yung nangyayari. Again, ito. Yan. And go ahead, Karen.
This sorry. Ayun, this was from sandwich concert din. I think interesting because like the next photo also is the same day. So para I had a shoot at night for sandwich. I was shooting a concert.
Tapos
And
ito.
then diretso na ako sa Pampanga to shoot a lahar ride.
Grabe. So in terms
Fun
of
naman.
Oo, yun na yung importante, basta masaya ka dun sa ginagawa mo, diba? Yun. So yung next mo, Karen, I believe you have your 2 cameras here. Go ahead.
Yes. This was because I was also an apprentice for a TVC director. So most of the time nasa set lang din ako. Ayun.
Nice. And the next one, ito. So in terms of na experience mo, ano yung meron bang pinaka-challenging na coverage that you've done? Or yun nga, kasi minsan pagod yung kalaban mo no? So how do you keep yourself lalo na yung mga events, normally gabi siya. So how do you keep yourself alive para into the
Super night owl din kasi ako. So I'm used to shooting until super late. And I'm used to having a schedule na super packed na parang shoot after shoot. Pero sometimes I also have to take breaks. Ano ba yung pinaka-intense? Feeling ko yun na yun, yung lahar ride na yun. Kasi parang syempre you just came from a concert and your like creative space is in music pa. Yeah. And then you suddenly shift to motorcycle rides. So parang medyo intense din. And it was a race pala. So parang it was a race. So parang medyo yung shift of like creative shift ng thinking is medyo
challenging. And your next one, ito.
What's this? This is one of my closest friends. Yeah. At Egg Cheeks, follow her. We were both shooting the Limasawa Street tour, and this was like a throwback to our first Wonderland with Ben and Ben.
Nice. And ito. Ay,
sorry. Puro mukha. Okay na yan.
Yeah, yung next one. Go ahead.
Actually, dream ko talaga maging bouncer. This was from the U2 concert. So, wala, parang very,
very memorable sa'yo.
Yeah, very memorable. One of my favorite concerts I've shot. Medyo intense din yung feeling na parang we were just like 7 in the media team, tas parang we were shooting U2.
And ito, Wonderland.
Yes, Wonderland. The Wonderland team is always like super fun to work with, and it doesn't feel like work kapag kasama mo sila. It's like it's a really fun team.
Okay. Ito naman yung gamit mo na cameras. Maybe you can walk us through sa mga equipment na ginagamit mo normally. Go ahead.
I'm actually not super particular about the cameras that I use. Parang I use what I can. So parang hindi na, like, because I started out with like really the low-end cameras talaga, like the beginner cameras. The first photo is from Fujifilm. There's a camera from Fujifilm. It's an X-T3. And then a Lomo LCA from Lomography.
Oh, nice.
And then the next one is my usual setup, which is like 2 Canon cameras. 2 5Ds, I think. And then I also got to try this one's the RP with the 70 to 200 from Canon also.
Ganda. And yun. So with that, we actually have more questions for you. Pero maybe we can read them later. And
Yes,
again,
go ahead.
Karen, please stay. We'll bring you all back in a bit after the other two. Thanks, Karen. Thanks for sharing your
Thank
story
you.
and how you do your work. Thank you. Hey! Lipat naman tayo. Let's now welcome again Nukie Timtiman. Hold on. Nukie actually works for Munimuni, Kamara, and the Ridleys. Nukie started his career in photography back in 2011. He loves capturing memories and hopes that one day his visually impaired brother may see and catch up through the help of photographs. He says seeing the bands grow their craft and perform in front of the crowds is a lifetime worth of hard work. Hold on. Ipapakita ko lang on screen si Nukie. Wait. There. Nukie! Yan. Kamusta? Yan. Welcome back. So, Nukie, diretso na tayo. You work with Munimuni, Kamara, and the Ridleys. Ano yung gusto mo working with these bands?
Well, one thing I really like the most is that they're my friends first before anything else. So, like, really, really close ones, not people I could open up with. So, working with them is like a trip back to high school, that kind of joy for me, honestly. So, I really enjoy, like sharing concepts, ideas, like bringing ideas together to life. And then I really like, spending time with them. That's the best part. It's like, it feels like hanging out. It doesn't feel like work. And I'm just really, really blessed to have those guys around me, those three bands.
Kasi kumbaga parang yung samahan nyo barkada talaga.
Yeah, like yung asaran, like shred lives.
And that's really important, especially when you take photos, 'di ba? Syempre kailangan in terms of intimacy, 'di ba? Kailangan may hugot ka palagi kasi barkada mo. 'Yon.
Yeah, actually, like when I started, with Munimuni, they were kind of camera shy because they're really introverts, like hardcore introverts. So they're not really, like fond of being in front of a lens. So, but as time goes by, like as they get to know me and how I take photos, they kind of let their guard down and let me direct them, like let me take photos of them and started cooperating, like especially if I see a good spot. Hey, Aj, look at that. Like, and he would just comply. Like, he won't even question. He's like, oh, okay, I understand. So yeah, like so intimacy, like friendship for me, like is what really matters first. So the genuine connection. Yeah.
Kasi yung authenticity talaga, no? So, in terms of photography naman, Nukie, can you share yung top 3 photographers you look up to in music photography and why?
Yeah, well, without actually I really like look up to Daniel Aguilar. Yeah, like I keep saying this every time, like even in person. He was the one who shared this great idea with me. Like he said, he doesn't see gig photography as concerts or events. Like he kind of sees them like fashion, or like stills from a movie. And I thought that's a brilliant perspective. Like it's a brilliant workaround when you're shooting. Around. So I think it gives you a fresh set of ideas, like a fresh set of how you do things and how you shoot things. So instead of focusing, let's say just a musician like holding a guitar, like you tend to focus on his outfit, like his emotions, the lighting, the scenery, So that was really one of the most helpful advices that I ever got. So I think like really appreciate him and his heart to share his knowledge. And then I look up to like there's this Spanish guy I followed on Instagram. Yung like his handle was Photo Galvez. Like I don't understand anything that he says, but his photos speak for me. Like so the reason why I like him is that he incorporates movement. Like usually the pop concerts, like everything is fast paced, so you need to use fast shutter speed. But I think he does the opposite. Like he uses slow shutter speed and fast paced events. So I was like, why? And I saw his photos and oh, that's brilliant. Parang it's kind of psychedelic, like if you see it. So he's influential to me. And then there's this UK-based guy I'm friends with. His name is Anthony Harrison. He started. He likes music as me, and then he got to do something that I really wanted to do, which is to cover Liam Gallagher. Look, he got to do it, like Oasis, yeah. And then, like the way he captures things, sobrang crisp, and also yung timing. Like, alam mo yung, like there's this like quote from Henry Cartier-Bresson, like for every action, there's this decisive moment.
Yes.
The decisive moment is the peak of the action, in which I think we all should strive capturing, like in timing. So, like for example, like yung pag headbang, siguro like if the guy has long hair, like yung pag rise up lang yung hair niya once he recovers dun sa headbang. Parang ganun, the idea. So he's really great at that. So I look up to him, Anthony Harrison.
Great. Kaya pala when I looked at your photos, they're really I can see the inspiration from this. Lalo na yung when you mentioned yung movement, 'di ba? Ang ganda.
Yeah.
Later for those who are watching, you need to see photos of Nukie. Nukie, alam ko you also do illustrations and edits for the bands, for the albums. Saan ka nakahugot naman na inspiration for that?
Oh, okay. I'll be really honest with it. I really look up dun sa artists that were involved in the Beatles projects, from Von Kloos-Voorman, from forgot this guy's name who worked on the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but mostly like they're really artworks. Like they're not intended to be like they're not isolated. Like what they do is to visually translate the album. Diba, like music, audio. So there's no really visual to it. So their job is to put a face, put a color, put a line on it that would best represent the album. So I think that was my my guiding principle. Like something, for example, like recently Sabu approached me if I could, handle her latest song, single art, and the title was Insomnia. And then I asked her, what's this about? Like, what are you trying to communicate? What do you feel about this song? What do you think the character is going through? And then she described it like explicitly. And then it wasn't hard for me to get it, to understand it, since I'm close with Sabu, and also I have difficulty in sleeping early. So I tried to just translate those, like, okay, like you're trying to sleep early, you can't sleep, like your body, your thoughts, like you feel hazy, you feel woozy. So using those keywords, hazy and woozy, what could I closest visual, like probably fog. What's next to fog? Clouds. So maybe if I just put clouds on her and then add some movements and make the picture look dark, like maybe I could, like get the yung depiction of being stressed, tired, like being restless, trying to sleep, but you cannot sleep.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the work process begins with trying to translate it visually. Yeah.
Ganda. So ganun pala yun for those who are
That's what I do. Like that's my idea of single art. Like it goes different for everybody naman. So that's just me.
Yun. So speaking of visuals, puntahan naman natin yung mga photos na sinend ni Nukie. Hold on, let me just cue them on screen. Hold on. Again, for those who are watching, don't forget to follow Nukie if you haven't yet. His Instagram is at nukie.2 and his Facebook is facebook.com/timtiman.nukie. And don't forget to follow Nukie. Nukie, your first photo. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. This was shot last February, like before Munimuni set in UP Fair. So the backstory of this photo was, I think, frustration. Early this year, Sunshine, Munimuni's manager, approached me that, hey, it's New Year, we need a new band photo. And I said, okay, I'll think of something. I said, oh, we cannot shoot it today. So it was a bit of a rush. I was thinking of something simple. And for me, I don't think, I mean, I'm okay with simple for as long as it aligns with the band's identity, personality. And if you listen to Munimuni, their songs are, without a doubt, poetic. So I had a vision already for their next band photo, and I know it should be just poetic. So what happened is I had a just like one off-cam flash like in that we shot inside a classroom. I think sa Manila yan. And then it did not turn out nice. It was underwhelming. I shot it like after their set, and then obviously the boys were tired, so I could not direct them as I want to because I could feel their fatigue. So I just tried to get a quick snapshot of them together, and then we're sitting. I think I kept the photo somewhere, but I don't think I'm gonna show it to the public. So I didn't sleep for that night because I was really sad. So I just what I did was overnight I tried to keep looking for photos na I find beautiful. Because I was really shaken after that shoot. I felt like I didn't feel like myself. So I needed to find out again what I find beautiful. So after that research, like, I remembered my camera has double exposure. So I did this on the spot, everything. Like, so I shot the boys first, and then I tried to get textures from the trees around. This was shot in UP, like in front of Mascom. So key point to this is golden hour, and then it has to have shadows. Dun sa shadows, dun kakapit yung image. Like by image, I mean yung silhouettes ng trees. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Ganda. Ito actually may nag-comment, sabi ni Fats Duncab, one of my favorites. Yung
thank
photo mo
you.
na to. Okay, so
Thank you.
Your next one. Go ahead.
Next one. Oh yeah, this one is Jarlo Base. We had a meeting back in February. Then like he said that he's gonna rebrand and he's gonna do series of projects, and he's gonna need photos that would represent him. And Jarlo is also one of my closest friends, so thank God for friendship. So it wasn't that like things were smooth with Jarlo. I just asked him, what is your work process? What is your work ethic? How are you when there's people around, and how are you when you're alone? And one thing that we both agreed is that he never stops working, and then he's always imagining things, creating in his own mind. He's in his own space, doing his stuff. So in the first photo on the left, like I tried. This is the same spot dun sa Munimuni photo shoot. So I really like that spot. So this is another double exposure, but instead of focusing on Jarlo, like I shot half of the photo na covered with ATM card. So yung upper half niya is black. And I said kanina na sa black lang kumakapit yung the next double exposure. So what happened is was like an inception thing. So yung grass to grass, so instead of the sky, like so nag-intertwine. So I tried to parang represent his mind. Like how is it like when you're daydreaming, like when you're thinking of things? Of course you are inside your own head. You can see yourself in that your own space, and then definitely there's no walls in it unless you imagine it, I guess. Yeah. So it's like the first photo, the left one, was about Jarlo inside his mind. Yeah. And then the second one was just I tried to make him go as far as he could, because when you zoom, if you have a zoom lens and you use much of your focal length, you might get a cinematic like depth of field. So what happened is I was able to incorporate yung grass sa kanya. So the creation ng parang layers of like subject, background and foreground. Yeah. It was really fun.
Ganda. Ito, may mga nagko-comment. Sabi ni Lexin Feliciano, grabe, I get so inspired by these palagi.
Thank you.
Yeah. And your next...
Oh, yeah.
Yun eh.
Yeah, this was unique Salonga. Like, I think this was the same day I shot yung Munimuni thing. I think, ay, di pala magkaibang araw pala. This was Monday ng UP Fair 2020. I remember it was just OC Records. Yeah. So, this was during Unique set. Oh, well, obviously. Wow, okay. Anyway, I tried to get Unique's personality of his songs to pictures. So, if you listen to his music, you could say it was a bit of a psychedelic, like dreamy, like artsy, ganun. So here, instead of using a fast shutter speed, I slowed it down, like to the last fracture before going to seconds. And then I just shot him continuously while moving my camera. And then it created this double exposure effect, but in reality, you're just making multiple exposures on different parts of picture. So, para siyang motion blur, but since you move it fast, like nagka-create siya ng parang incomplete render of the photo. That's what happened. So I tried to get his personality on stage.
Amazing. Ito, nag-comment ulit si Lexin Feliciano. Sabi niya, I'm gonna cry. Maiiyak na daw siya sa mga photos mo. And
Thank you.
Your next one. Wow, ganda nito.
Oh, this is Kate Nasasara. This was just shot last week, like after her music video shoot. Yung background, yun yung chroma. So, where I'm sitting right now, dito siya sinut, like super fresh. This is a brand new photo. Hindi ko pa siya pinopost outside. So, since I think this is my first, second shoot pala, like after the lockdown. So I really missed, like, doing normal stuff. And then I just asked Keiko, hey Keiko, you can mag-shoot? And then she was like, game! And thankfully again, close din kami ni Keiko. So, and then ang galing niya pumose. Like all I did was just have to picture it. I didn't have to direct her. She knew exactly what to do. She knew exactly how to project herself. She knew exactly what to wear. So overall, I was just there to materialize it. So this is basically her, like her outfit, sir. So this is just for fun. Like there's not much concept around it. Like probably just two friends hanging out. That's it.
Ayan, ito may pumasok na question from Colin Mapakpak. Sabi niya, Nukie, cool photos. Do you post-process your photos? Is editing necessary for music photography?
Well, I really don't post-process much. Like I try to get everything correct on the spot. And for post-processing, yeah, maybe you could tweak the lights a little bit, like shadows, highlights. And for me, that's just it. I really don't think I should add elements or remove elements unless, was probably asked by a client. But on my own, I will try to get it right. Mostly because I think I have this, I mentioned a while ago na I started with photojournalism, and then one of the principles of photojournalism was to never add or reduce anything from your photos because this is basically news. So if I remove or add something to it, maybe I would be part of what we don't like nowadays, which is fake news. So if I'm gonna add something, maybe I think I have the responsibility to disclose it. Yeah. Like if I added an element, yeah. So I really enjoy trying to get everything right on the camera, but it depends on people. That's just me. To each his own brand. Yeah, so that's for me lang. Yeah.
Great.
And also pala, the reason why I don't like, but I try not to edit because, remember I shoot for my brother who's visually impaired, that he's blind. So, and me as a person, I'm nostalgic. So maybe one day he would look at my photos and then I want it to be realistic pa din. Although medyo funny because I do weird stuff with my photos, but I try not to keep it on the camera lahat for my brother then. Maybe if one day he will get to see it, so maybe he could catch up some memories. You know, since I like memories, I'm a nostalgic guy. I also hoard things. Yeah.
Hopefully, no? Oo, for your
Yeah,
brother.
hopefully technology.
Yeah.
All God's will.
Sana, lalo na after the pandemic, ang daming mga bagong
Yeah, I hope so. I hope
things
so.
to...
And I hope it's also accessible. Healthcare here is. Yeah.
Ito, we have another comment from Fats Dun Cub. Sabi niya, Kuya Nukie is giving us the authentic atmosphere in every captured photo.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like,
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
and
honored.
balik tayo doon sa mga photos. Hold on, let me just pull them up on screen.
Yeah.
Your next is, ito na yung sinasabi mo na, yung sinasabi ko kanina, yung inspiration mo for...
Yeah. Like,
motion blur.
this one, ano ba? This is Jem Kubil. Like, this was shot really before yung kay Keiko na shoot. So, you know, and like Keiko, Jem is he really knows what to do. So all I have to do was get the angles right according sa lighting. Like, I want the other half of the light to face niya, and I want the other half the other face low. So what happened here was, I tried mixing slow shutter and a double exposure. So then sa left photo, naka double exposure setting ako, and then I clicked the shutter by accident, and it had that interesting effect. And then also I have one last shot na papatong dun sa parang side view na sobrang blurred. And then I just made it like inspired by Joji. So if you listen to Joji's music, parang may ganyang sad boy aesthetic vibes. So, and then yung second photo, I tried replicating it. I couldn't do it again. So what I did na lang was double exposure again. Like, the first photo was underexposed and blurred. So makita mo sa under his chin, there was this like contour of his face. So, and then I just pose him again, different, like sobrang contrast. Kung nakayuko siya sa first, dapat nakatingala siya the second. And then yun na yung tama yung setting. Like, proper exposure, and then everything is in focus. And then yung third one, I tried to, like I said, yung double exposure, kumakapit yung second photo dun sa shadow. So, madilim yung neck niya. So, tinry ko kumuha dun ng zoom out photo, which, you know, resulted in different, like, reaction. Like, one friend said na it looks like growing a pimple. Like, and then, yung kay Voldemort, parang gano'n. So, yeah. So, it's fun, super fun. Yun lang. Like, for fun lang yung photos nito. Like, no concept intended na just experiment stuff.
Great. And ito, Nukie, may nag-comment, si Patch Quinto, sabi niya, Nukie, Idol, how do you know how much editing you need for a photograph? I believe nasagot mo siya kanina since you're a photo journalist. Baka you want to add?
How do I know? For me, I think as artists, like, not necessarily just photographers, I think also discovers for musicians and painters and alike. I think we all have our own ideas of what is beautiful. Like, it's very subjective thing. And for me, I will edit it probably according to what I find beautiful. So if I like it to be more warm, we'll do it. It depends on your intention, really. Like, if you want to communicate this person is in a hot room, you would use warm color, which is yellow. If you want to depict them in a freezing state, you're going for a more bluish photo. Like, diba, notice nyo, like, movies, ganun yung color grading. So, ganun, that's it. Like, simple color theory. Yeah.
Tsaka kumbaga yung intent and purpose mo.
Intent and purpose. Like, that's always the goal thing.
Okay, and let's move on to the other photos. Hold on, let me just pull them up on screen. Wait lang. Ito, ang ganda rin ito. And
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was just, like, diba, kanina, like, there was Jem and Keiko individually, and then this is just them together na, like, so, I know them personally then, thank God again for friendship. So, so I tried to get their personality dun sa middle photo. And Keiko's really loves to fool around in real life. So she loves to joke, she loves to laugh. And then Jem balances that out. So this came out as an accident, like, you know, in the moment kind of thing. So told them, hey, Keiko, do this cute pose, and then siya yung parang, like, can you, like, depict being Zen, like ninja, something like that, you know. And then, yung photos sa gilid, like, I think, I had visions of this painting na I can't remember in title, but I think it was an American painting during the 1930s. So, parang couple siya na, parang farmer silang dalawa. So, ganun yung inspiration niya. So, I just had that on the spot. So, since Karen na din sila, they both share the same, literally, identical outfit. So, yeah, for fun, I tried to get their personality through poses. Yeah. That's it.
Ganda. And your next one. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, this was Clara Denim's gig, like February again. I think this was one of the last gigs that I ever attended. So, with Munimuni yun. So what happened? This was Clara's birthday gig, I think, and she had this string lights, na parang pixie fairy lights, Christmas lights. So again, this is double exposure. So what I did was I tried to, you guys familiar with bokeh, like autofocus integration giant. So I got that texture, and then I covered yung middle ng lens with my finger. So that's how I was able to get a clear spot for Clara dun sa middle.
Ganda.
So that's how you did it. So like that gig was really really surreal and magical. Like how Clara handled the audience and how yung set, ang ganda rin ng set, very simple, it's very whimsical. So I was really inspired by that. So I wanted to get that in photo. Yun. So yeah, like this was also straight from the camera.
Amazing. Ito, may nag-comment si Peewee Dom Anya. Sabi niya, Kuya Nukie, you are my number one. Dominic daw.
Okay, cute.
Next.
Thank you.
And go ahead.
Oh yeah. This was the same day. Like I said, yung first photo ng Munimuni, like that was before their set, and now this is their set. So I still have a hangover from that effect that we did. So I tried to do it naman sa gig talaga, and thankfully, their set was during sunset, and so hindi siya gabi like most usually. So same principle, like I need to get shadows from them, and then the second shot, the trees, and sobrang challenging ng set na to kasi ang daming ilaw, ang daming nakaharang. So kakapala ng face, umakit ako ng stage, umikot ako around just to get that shot. Yeah. So yeah, yun. So hangover siya nung first photo na we showed. Yeah.
Ganda. And ito, yung next one natin. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, this was Sabu. Like this is another recent work. Yung left photo, that was the base photo for her single art for Insomnia. So stream it now, guys, on Spotify. So, and then the second one was like we were trying to get scenes. Like, I applied yung advice ni Daniel Aguilar, like just make scenes, like mood. So she probably one of the things that the person does before trying to sleep was like, daydream a lot. Like, think of things that bothers them or keeps them awake at night. And then I really didn't want to do a bedroom type of shoot because that's kind of predictable. So we set it was both Sabu's idea and I that we should use tent. So it's gonna be like a whimsical na parang you're in your alone time, ganun. Then you're in an adventure mostly. And you're away from your comfort zone. So that was a tent, and then we just tried to get scenes and like parang movie ganun. So that was the intention. So and then yung picture sa gitna, like those were from her KPLI photo shoot. KPLI is another song Sabu on Spotify. This is where actually like my creative friendship with Sabu began. Like, I had to follow yung music video niya kasi naunang sinut yung music video before the cover art. So from the lighting, from the color grading. Yung original color niya is purple talaga, purple and red. And then I was just tasked na, okay, you have to match the colors for the MV. So naging parang cyan and magenta siya. So honestly, this was a happy accident. Like I really didn't know what I was doing, but like I just knew I had to keep shooting and keep trying, trial and error. So I think it's nice to have assistant around. So hi Mada, my assistant, and also my girlfriend. So siya yung naging stand-in ko for that shot. Like so many trial and errors. So until we got the lighting correct, ganun. Yun, like it's basically like it has to look like it's from the music video. Ganun.
Yeah, ganda. Ayan, ang dami ang dami heart dun sa photo mo. And ito naman, let's now go to the behind the scenes mo sa mga shoots. Let's begin siguro with the camera that you use.
Yeah. I use a Canon ATV. This was the first camera I bought with my own money. A little bit of my dad. So, birthday gift siya for myself. Yun. Yung lens, I use a 24 to 105, which was an influence ng mentor ko. Kasi he was the one who let me borrow his camera. And then, yun yung lens na gamit niya. And then, for a long time, I used that lens. And then, never na ako nagpalit. Like, probably, like, 50mm and then a little bit of fisheye. But most of the time, like 99% of the time, I'll just use this lens kasi it's very versatile. Like it's zoom, but it's also wide, 24 and 105. So and may macro din siya. So in short, wala na siyang palitan. Bugbuga na.
Oo nga.
So,
we actually have another question. From Lexin ulit. Sabi niya, has there ever been a time na you started doubting your own abilities as a photographer and considered leaving photography? May ganun ba?
Actually, all the time. Like, honestly, anxiety plays a lot of a role in my work ethic. The only way I could get rid of anxiety is if I keep working, keep trying. Like, I need to have this comfort na I did everything. So I need to exhaust all options. So it's very exhausting. It's very tiring to have. Like it's nerve-wracking. But yeah, like so many downtimes. Even this year, like a lot of this year, like I keep wondering like where am I supposed to go now? Like after one project to another. So my mind consists of 20% music, 40% worries and 60% worries and 40% art. So parang ganun.
So hindi talaga siya mawawala.
Yeah, never siya mawawala. Yeah, like especially na tao lang tayo lahat. Yeah.
And hold on, let me just pull up your other behind the scenes photos. Ito pala Nukie, yung ano mo, you actually have a zine. Baka you can talk about your zine. Hold on. There.
Oh yeah, I have this zine that like paano ba? Like so many things to talk about it, but I'll try to keep it short. But first, it's a lifetime worth of my photos. So from the start until 2019, so I released this 2019. So this has all of my my life's work. So if you get it from you can only buy it just in fact. So I have partnership with them. So it consists of my best work from 8 years span from 2011 to 2019, and then the entire point of the zine was to accept that you are human, that there's a need to accept that you're human in order for you to move forward. Like there's no point in denying that you're not okay. Like there's no need pretending that you're okay. I mean like that. So you cannot solve something unless you acknowledge it. So and then the zine starts from daylight till goes nighttime till daylight again. So I got the concept from Edge, like one of the Munimuni gigs. He said, na a day doesn't end until another one rises up. And Tagalog niya sinabi yun, but that's how I remember it. I have a weird brain. Anyway, so I said, so in that span of like one day, like you have so many chances to get better, like even the smallest things. So one of them is acknowledging that I need help or I'm not okay, and it's okay not to be okay. So I released this 2019, and then 2018 was a really tough year for me, especially some projects. Everything was really dry. So like someone asked kanina about anxiety, thinking of giving up. So imagine a year long of struggle with that, and then I decided no, I got over that hurdle, the challenge, by accepting that I need help. Like I need to acknowledge na, I need to be open, being hearing other opinions on how to get through life. Like not just like not just about career. Also like your everyday struggles, like struggle to clean your room, something like that. So you get what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
So it's very intimate work. So and I also wrote poems. So and included siya doon, like that reflects different stages of
Ito, let's
acceptance.
show it up on screen again. Para again, they can get this sa Jess and Pats, no?
Jess and Pats, yeah, exclusively available at Jess and Pats.
Ito.
So and so many photos na probably never posted, ganun.
Nice. And on that note, Nukie, thank you for sharing your story and being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Please stay. Balik tayo for the wrap up. Your final words later. Thanks, Nukie.
Okay. Thank you, then.
Hold on, let me just. And finally, Daniel Aguilar is also joining us tonight. He is a music photographer and the creative director of the band IV of Spades. He works behind the scenes to create visual campaigns for the band. And Daniel has been into photography for almost 6 years. And what he loves about it is being able to travel and be on the road. He also says that the best thing about music photography is the live music, of course, at saka yung mga fans natin. And on that note, hi Daniel! Good evening!
Hello.
Kamusta?
Sobrang galing ng mga nauna sa akin.
Yan. So, just to dive into it, Dan, you work with IV of Spades. How is it like being able to capture the band's journey and seeing them grow?
Sobrang inspiring as a creative rin, and parang kasi 'di ba meron tayong mga taong nilook up to na parang ay grabe yung kwento nito, grabe, sobrang from the ground up trinabaho niya, and ngayon ganito na siya. And sa akin, I got to witness that with si Zild, which is the bassist of the band, na bassist and vocalist na. Kasi we go way back ever since high school, magkaklase na kami. And to have someone rise up the way he did, and yung what's special for me is kaklase ko siya noon, ay kaibigan ko siya. So parang sabay kaming tumaas, or parang nakita ko na kaya nito, na kakilala ko na mismo. So at the same time, parang na-encourage din ako na kaya ko rin, and yung nga, being able to work with a friend na sobrrang passionate din sa craft niya. Tapos na-encourage ka rin. And yun nga, new friends kasi yung iba rin kasama namin sa team. And yeah.
Ganda kasi kumbaga naghihilaan kayo paangat, no?
Yeah.
Ganda ng ano. And eto Dan, you're also the creative director of IV of Spades. How hard is it to think of a unique concept for the band when it comes to live shows, saka yung mga promotions? Gaano siya kahirap?
Di ko alam kung mahirap siya or madali, ganun. Pero some ideas come naturally kasi when the boys create, parang yun sila eh. And to be part of the process or to witness the process firsthand, parang mas nagkakaroon ka ng idea kung paano siya matatranslate visually. So, yun nga, bilang creative director, sabihan ko na lang na bukod sa pag-take ng photos sa band during shows, I also directed yung visuals nila sa live show. So what makes these different is nakasync yung visuals dun sa per song. For example, may specific visuals for this song and for verse or chorus, ganun. So very very nakakatuwa rin kasi pinagkatiwalaan nila ako with that responsibility. And yun, since nga magkakilala na kami and alam ko kung paano ano yung mga gusto nila. And yun nga, gaya ng sabi ni Nukie, friendship talaga over pagiging workmates. So yung connection talaga namin, them being the band and me being executing yung visual side of the band. Yun, so connection rin talaga with the boys.
Great. And napaka-importante nun, lalo na when it comes to the show, syempre, we need to please the fans kasi yung nila, inaabangan nila. And ito naman, talking about bands, can you share your top 3 bands that you dream of covering?
Ang hirap. Bands. Ano ba? International or?
Kahit ano. Up to you. Go ahead.
Up to you. Top 3. Yung isa gusto ko ring maka-work ang Saint Wolf. Okay lang sila. So yun, mga kaklase rin sila nila Zild. So sa music production. And yun nga, ang galing rin nila. Gusto ko yung scene nila and how they perform, yung persona ng band. Tapos gusto ko si Billie Eilish in the future and sino pa ba? 21 Pilots. Yeah.
Very mga gaganda ng mga nila. Lalo na yung creative nila. And eto Dan, we actually have also your photos. Tingnan na natin yung mga photos na
okay.
Hold on, let me just pull it up on screen. And again, guys, if you have any questions for Daniel, just send them to us. We'll read them later. Again, don't forget to follow Daniel Aguilar. His Instagram is at @rallyugalenInad. It's Daniel Aguilar backwards. And then his Facebook is facebook.com and it's the same. Hirap i-pronounce.
RallyugalenInad.
Oo. Basta baliktad na Daniel Aguilar. Yun. Anyway, ito Dan. Sobrang ganda nito. Go ahead.
Ayan. So itong first photo is special rin siya sa akin. Bukod sa kasi yun nga, I know the show bukod sa pag photo ko lang, alam ko rin yung sequence ng show and yung mga visuals na lalabas. Ito kasi intro sequence siya ng show nila. This was back-to-back show with Rico Blanco. And what I like about this is, dun sa tour namin originally, yung LED wall, 3 lang talaga. Yun. And nagkaroon ng isa pang wall to balance out yung kaya nakita niyo may extra drum set doon sa gilid. So parang iconic siya kasi alam ko doon lang siya nangyari. At the same time, yung favorite ko rin yung opening sequence na yan kasi hina-hype niya yung mga tao. And yung moment na yan, grabe talaga. Every show.
Oh. And that's very ganda ng pagka-capture mo. Kuwang-kuha yung ng crowds. And your next one.
Yun, picture ni Badjaw. Ako, hindi naman sa pagano, pero proud ako sa mga drummer pics ko. Kasi mahirap talaga picturean yung mga drummer lalo na. Stationary lang sila. Minsan nga, nakababa pa sila or nasa side ng stage. And yun nga, being with IV of Spades. And ito kasi sariling show namin, yung Sweet Shadow Tour. Katrabaho ko rin yung may lighting director kasi kami, which is we're very fortunate to have one. Kasi yung iba, hindi kasi laging meron na lighting director. So si Sir Arnold, yung LD namin, nakausap ko and same kami ng vision na yun, ilawan si Badjaw, lalo na yung mga highlights niya na sections for the show for him. So yun, isa sa favorite Badjaw pictures kaya.
Ayan, may nag-comment, si Adena Silang, sabi niya, one of my favorite music photographers.
Thank you.
Tapos may isa pa, medyo showbiz na tanong. Sino daw sa IV of Spades or sa Spades ang pinaka-favorite mo daw picturean?
Pinaka-favorite? Sino ba?
Or siguro pinakamadaling makunan sa stage?
Iba-iba kasi sila personality. Siguro bigyan ko na lang ng moments. Pag halimbawa, generally si Zild kasi, yung bassist.
Yeah.
Sa stage, yung stage presence niya when performing, as in anytime tutukan siya ng camera, okay talaga. Si Blaster, when he does his guitar solos, grabe. Yun yung mga highlights niya. And si Badjao, drummer. And gusto ko kasi yung challenge ng pag-take ng pictures ng drummer.
Ito, may nag-comment tungkol regarding to the drummer. Sabi ni Mada Angeles, sabi niya, true tips po on how you take good photos of drummers. Baka may tip ka para sa mga nag-shoot ng drummers.
Ano ba? Tips? Siguro, ito medyo kailangan mo rin ng okay na gamit. Lalo na kapag limited yung access mo sa stage. So sana meron kang medyo zoom na lens.
Yeah.
And if may access ka naman sa stage, if halimbawa hinire ka ng pro to shoot, or may access ka talaga, try mong gumilid onte sa stage para may better angle instead of naka-stationary ka lang doon sa harap.
Yeah. Ito si Lexin Feliciano, sabi niya, is there a specific show ng Spades na pinaka nagustuhan mo?
Specific show po ba na to? Ano bang show? Iba-iba kasi yung yung crowd kasi actually yung show same lang siya, pero yung crowd kasi nagpapaiba sa kanila. Yun.
So
siguro yung mga provincial shows na hindi masyadong minsan lang kami makapunta doon, and kapag nandun yung boys, parang talaga, yung tinatry nila na connect with the boys, gano'n. Yeah.
Ito may nag-comment, si Raya Bayanin, sabi niya, yun nga, nag-agree siya, rarely lang daw nakukunan yung mga drummers. And then si Adena, sabi niya, agree with drummers being the hardest to take pictures of, especially since they're located sa likod. O nga, no? Kasi lagi sila sa likod. Normally yung mga vocalist tsaka yung mga nagigitara yung normally nakukunan. Yun, with that, punta tayo doon sa other photos. Hold on. Wait lang. Here. Your next photo. Go.
Ayun. So, yun nga, since I shoot the same show almost every night before, tinatry ko rin maghanap ng ibang story bukod sa show na nakikita ng audience when they watch. So ito, yun nga, so every show noon, lalo na dun sa tour, dun sa song na I Am a Butterfly, merong drum solo si Badjao. So for a number of shows, I shot Badjao doing his drum solo. Pero for this show, paano kapag sa drum solo, hinanap ko si Zil or yung bassist ng Spades or ano ba yung ginagawa ng ibang members ng boys. So yun, nakita ko siya on the side. Nagtatago dun sa likod ng piano. Yun. So, parang ibang angle naman on the show.
Ganda. Ito, may nag-comment si Keo Angelo. Sabi niya, hello to Sir Daniel. I had the opportunity to meet and work with him for the last concert of IV of Spades here in Bacolod. He is so cool and so good to work with. Hello daw.
Hello.
Okay. So, you're next. Ito, mga behind the scenes. Go.
Ayun, to was from the show sa Hong Kong. So, grabe yung show na yan. Yung Clock and Flap sa Hong Kong na invite in Spades. And, yun nga, besides shooting the boys when they perform, I also try to capture them before they go on stage. So, grabe rin yung pressure, naramdaman ko rin yung pressure ng show na to kasi they'll be performing on the main stage of an international music festival, sharing the stage with sina Khalid, David Byrne, Erykah Badu. So, grabe rin yung pressure. At the same time, yung crowd mo is international crowd. So, medyo hindi ka sure sa mga mangyayari. And yun, these are moments na maganda rin i-capture. Kasi besides being a concert photographer, ako kasi, since I tag along with the boys and creative director nila. So parang bukod sa pagiging concert photographer, medyo Instagram boyfriend rin. Parang gano'n. Yung parang ika-capture mo every move. And at the same time, i-document mo yung every move ng band.
Nice. Yeah. And ito, may comment si Karen who's on for guest. Sabi niya, rock and roll daw. Yan. So, your next photo. Go ahead.
Ayun. So, in every show, yun, tinatry ko rin mag-capture ng photo with the boys in one frame at the same time nandun yun yung audience. So ito, nagandahan ako dun sa parang leading lines ng photo na nandito si Bajao on the foreground sa gitna ng yung subject, si Zild and si Blaster interacting, ganun. At the same time, kita yung audience. So, ayun, parang kita mo kahit nasa stage siya, may intimacy sa photo. Yan.
Si Nukie nagko-comment na rin, sabi niya Instagram boyfriend daw. Next, your next photo. Ang ganda nito.
Ayan, so like Karen with Tide Edit and yung ibang bands na shoot niya, yung boys rin kasi sila Zed. Open rin sila sa akin if I want to be experimental with my photos. Lalo na kapag medyo limited yung itsura ng stage, wala masyadong LED. Ganun. So, yan, this is Bajao and meron akong lens filter na ginamit dyan na papakita natin later.
Ganda. Parang psychedelic yung ano siya kakaiba yung dating niya. Ganda. And your next one. Go ahead.
Next. Ayun. So, for this photo, this is yung sabi ko kanina, this is si Blaster, favorite ko talagang kinukuha during his guitar solos. And on the rare times that I go on stage, I make sure na hindi ako, tip rin for other music photographers. On the rare times that I go on stage. Kasi, yun nga, gaya ng sabi ni Karen earlier, the show is for the fans. So, as a photographer, as much as you want to express yourself and take great photos, kailangan hindi ka maging distracting sa fans. So, I guess yung best way for me, or isa sa mga best time for a photographer to go on stage is when yung guitarista natin or yung ibang of the band is in front interacting with their audience. So yun, ito yung spotlight sakto kay Blaster, at the same time kita yung shine ng mga cellphones ng crowd. So gusto ko yung yun, intimacy pa rin, yung connection ng artist with the fans.
Ganda. And then your next one, ito ganda rin ito.
Ayun. So ito, I shot this with my phone actually. Audience lang ako nung show na yan. Pero hindi ko napigilan sarili ko, kailangan ako mag-picture. Actually, nakita ko dito yung si Iya, yung kasama ni Karen sa picture niya kanina sa Ridleys. Tapos, sila yung nagko-cover ng show. Pero, yun nga, nandun sila sa pit and yung spot ko dun sa show is nasa harap nila, parang ganun. So, yun, ito pala ay 1975 show. Last year, September. Last year. Yeah.
Nandun din ako.
Hey!
Yan. Tapos ito, may comment si Francesca Kagiwat. Sabi niya, what's one thing you like about being able to manipulate colors? Siguro in terms of yung mga vibes nung photos. Ano yung nagugustuhan mo daw doon?
Yung siguro yung yun nga gaya kasi ng sabi ni Nukie, yung intention mo behind editing the photo. And siguro a good reason to enhance a photo is to really make the viewers feel na nandun sila sa show. So yan, kaya pag nag-shoot ako ng concert, it's either tatasan ko pa yung saturation or yung i-emphasize ko yung lights. Parang kasi dun sa lights maganda yun. Nandun din nanggagaling yung colors.
Right. And ito, si Kristen Page Chongko, sabi niya, what do you use? Ano naman daw yung ginagamit mo in terms of editing? Ano yung mga apps?
Lightroom rin. Lightroom, Classic. Tapos minsan Photoshop.
Right. So yun. And your next, hold on. Ito. Yan, ganda rin ito. Go ahead.
Ayun. So, yun nga, gaya nga ng sabi ko before, hindi lang photographer ng band, hindi lang shows yung sinushoot mo. This was shot in the studio. So, nagsushoot rin ako for them sa studio. So ito special to kasi sa Red Bull Studios Tokyo siya sa Japan. So ang ganda ng studio and parang ano rin iba rin yung yung emotion ng photos kapag yung artist nasa loob siya ng studio. Yung pagka-human niya and what do you call this? Pagka-dive niya dun sa artistry niya and siguro pagsulat ng kanta or pag-produce or pag-practice ng instruments niya.
Yeah.
Ganun. And yun, trinay ko rin na makita silang tatlo in one photo.
Ganda. And then your next one.
Ayun rin. So, itong mga medyo last photos ko is hindi na shows. So, ito naman, from a music video shoot. So, obviously, hindi sila yung boys. Hindi sila yung boys. Pero, isa to sa mga favorite photos ko with them for IV of Spades. Kasi, gusto ko yung message ng kanta, ang set design. Parang yung message kasi ng song, wag ka masyadong magmadali sa pagtanda. So, yun. Kaya favorite ko. Kasi parang pinagsasabihan ako ng mga bata na wag masyado. Chill ka lang.
Yun. And ito, may comment si Adena. Sabi niya, that composition though. Yung kanina yata, yung tatlo sila, nagustuhan niya. And ito naman, punta naman tayo sa behind the scenes. Ito, nag-send din si Daniel ng mga behind the scenes. Ito, Daniel, baka you can talk about this. Go.
Yun. Feeling ko nasama ko lang rin yan. Pero yun, gusto ko itong photo na to kasi parang, yun nga, iba yung emotion na pinoportray ng mga photos with the artist inside the studio. So yun, parang, ito yung moment na to kasi diba nag-play sila for Red Bull Studios to ng isang song. And dito pin-preview yung kanta before it was released. So parang pinapakinggan, pasado ba, ganyan. Or okay ba, kamusta. So yun.
Ganda.
Yung medyo pressure rin dun sa artist. Or parang, ewan ko, feeling ko ganun.
Oo, kasi parang ang daming nakaabang. And ito naman, Daniel, ito yung sinasabi mo kanina na ginagamit mo na accessories.
Yeah.
Baka you can go ahead.
So, ito yung mga gamit ko sa shows. Actually, ang medyo frustration ko is kaka-upgrade ko lang before the pandemic. So, nagamit ko lang siya for ilang shows lang. Yan, na yung ng camera. Pero, yan, I use Fujifilm X-T3 and yung main lens ko ngayon is 16-55 2.8. And bumili rin ako ng fisheye na lens. Wala, para lang kakaiba. May kuha ng kakaibang siguro angle or kakaibang composition. Ganun.
Yeah.
And, pero hindi ko pa nagamit sa show yan yung fisheye. Tapos ito, isa rin sa mga favorite ko gamitin sa shows. And dami rin nagtanong sa akin, paano mo nagagawa yung kaleidoscope? Yung parang kay Badjao kanina na pattern. So ito yung filter na nasa upper right. And actually hawak ko siya ngayon kung pwede mo.
Wait lang, hold on. We'll show you on screen. Hold on. Yan. Ay, sorry. Isa pa. And go ahead.
Ayan, so ito siya.
Wow. Oo nga, no? Ang galing. Parang first time ko na nakakita niya. Ang ganda.
So,
saan mo siya nabili?
In-order ko siya sa Prism Lens FX.
Nice.
So, sa Instagram.
Ganda.
So, mahilig rin ako sa mga filters kasi wala lang, pang pa-enhance lang sa show. Yung isang filter pa dun is yung star filter. So, yung mga lights, nagkakaroon siya ng star. Although, hindi ata ako nakapagsama ng photo na may star filter. Pero, yun yung idea. Magkakaroon ng star. No? Lights. Tapos, yun lang mo ginagamit ko sa shoot.
Nice. And then, eto, may isa ka pa ditong behind the scenes Baka you can talk about this. Yan. Go ahead.
Ayan. Yung left photo was taken by a good friend from saan ba yun? Basta si Jared, si Jared Palmares, nakasama kong photographer sa first show ng Sweet Shadow Tour. So yun, wala, very very iconic, very memorable lang sa akin photo kasi yan yung first time na i-shoot ko yung show na dinirect ko rin yung visuals. So yun, nabuhay yung visuals and to be able to shoot it. Then yung nasa right is show namin sa Japan rin, sa Moon Romantic Cafe or bar ba yun. Tapos with the other local band, Spicy Soul ng Japan. So, ito yung team, nandito rin yung manager namin, mga tech. Yan.
Ito, may mga comment na pumapasok. Sabi ni Jane Tamayo, isa kang halimaw, sobrang ganda ng mga shots. Tapos, I believe ate mo yata to. Sabi niya, proud ate, si Tony.
Hello ate Tony.
Tapos, si Lexin, may tanong siya ulit. Sabi niya, best advice daw na tanggap mo as a photographer.
Best advice na tanggap ko. Practice lang. Talaga. As in, practice ka ng practice. And feeling ko pag ako rin yung tinanong ano yung best advice na mabibigay ko, it's the practice lang rin. Kasi kapag hindi ka naman matututo sa pag-observe, kailangan ikaw rin yung pinapractice mo rin sa sarili mo. Yung kung paano mo gusto mag-improve. Yeah.
And then ito may last ka na behind the scenes. Ito yata you were traveling. Go.
Yeah. This was taken by Kara from Bandwagon. Yan, wala lang. Nilagay ko kasi na-miss ko na mag-travel. With the boys. Ayun. And yung hassle ng airport life. Nakamiss rin pala.
Yun. Yeah. So, on that note, thank you, Daniel. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. Salamat din sa mga tips and all of the things that you shared with us tonight. And with that, balik na natin yung mga guests natin. Hold on, let me pull them back on screen. Ito, again, we have Daniel Aguilar, we have Nukie Timtiman, and Karen Dela Fuente with us tonight. Guys, we actually have a call. May call na pumapasok. Hold on, let me... that's... Connect lang. May tumatawag sa atin from Cebu. Hold on, let me just... Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hi, Nina. Wait lang.
Hi po.
Can you, pahina lang nung video. Yan, Nina, go ahead. Okay. What's your question for the guests tonight? Go ahead.
Well, wait, sorry po, nasya-shy po ako.
Sige lang,
so,
yan. Go ahead.
So, first of all, big fan po ako sa lahat, especially kay Kuya Daniel. Nakita ko po kita sa yung show sa Cebu, and I would love to say na you inspire me, and thank you for that. And for Kuya Nook, I get the anxiety and the fear of posting a photo and what can you say to other people who are also struggling to post their photos and have anxiety if it's good enough or if it's it's yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. For me, it's important that you always remember that everything is a progress. Like everyone started somewhere else. Like lahat tayo nagsimula saan, diba? So whether magustuhan or hindi magustuhan ng tao yung photos mo, like remember you didn't do anything bad. Like hindi ka naman nag-harm ng tao or anything. So just keep learning. Enjoy mo yung ginagawa mo. Like remember why you started taking photos. So tandaan mo lang yung reason bakit mo siya ginagawa. So gawin mo lang siya. enjoy mo lang siya yun. So, lahat naman tayo, like, natututo pa rin everyday. Like, even yung idols namin, like, like, people we look up to, like, may quote si Leonardo da Vinci or like, at the time of his death, like, sinabi niya na, parang, he's still learning. So, have comfort na lahat tayo tao. Like, enjoy. Yun yung pinaka-importante. Enjoy it. Express it. Yun lang.
Nina, maybe you have other questions for our guests.
For Ate Karen, I wanted to ask, do you have like color motives on like all of your photos, or is it basically like you're just inspired by the of the colors that are already around the area, or itikik mo lang sa Lightroom?
A lot of it actually is parang gut feel lang lagi. Parang it's always kung ano yung main feeling ko for that time, parang ganun. So, and yung mindset ko kasi when I edit is to maximize everything, to try to see hanggang saan kaya ng settings, hanggang saan kaya ng photos, parang ganun. So, laro lang din siya for me, para siyang open space to create something.
Great. And Nina, any other questions? Do you still have any other questions for our guests?
I think that's all na lang.
Okay. Thank you, Nina. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Salamat.
Thank you.
And yeah, guys, ito. Final words for our viewers. For those who'd like to pursue music photography and are just starting, baka you can add as a final note para sa kanila. Maybe we can begin with Karen. Hold on, let me just pull you on screen and go ahead.
Explore lang. Like, don't be scared to try out things. Don't be scared na ang tagal before you get to form your style or before you get to where you want to go. It's like, think of it as an exploration of like how you see photography or like how you want photography to be. And huwag kayong matakot to be different. Ayan.
Nice. And then sino ba? Nukie, ikaw. Hold on. Let me just pull you up on the screen and then go ahead.
I'd like to share na important thing is you enjoy it. Like, that's the best way to learn something is to enjoy it. And then like what Karen said, let's keep exploring. Like, don't be afraid to fail, kasi even if you fail, you'll still learn and you'll still benefit from it. And keep trying, keep shooting, keep enjoying, don't stop. Like, if you could keep that childlike enthusiasm, keep it, kasi it's really hard to take care of that. So, yeah. Again, please just enjoy it, like, without any, I also, like, it would help na you could pinpoint why you want to start shooting. Like, why do you want to start photography? Kasi that will be your guiding principle. Like, what gear to invest, what photos to study, and yeah. That's it.
I believe that's one of the most important things, diba? And hold on, balik lang natin si Daniel. And go, Daniel, your turn.
Siguro, if make the most of what you have. Ano man yung meron ka ngayon. Find creativity in the limitations you have. Kasi wala. Kung yun lang talaga resources mo, huwag mong hayaan na yun yung magli-limit sa'yo in what you want to do. Find ways kung paano mo may execute yung isang bagay with what you have. And ayun, parang practice ka lang talaga. As in, practice eh. Yun lang talaga eh. Walang shortcut. Gaya nga ng kahit sinong tanongin mo, walang shortcut in everything. So practice and be resourceful. Yeah.
Very well said. Yan. So again, hold on. Tempo. Wait lang. Again, we'd like to thank our guests. Wait lang. Let me pull you back on screen. Again, we'd like to thank our guests tonight. We have Daniel Aguilar, Karen Dela Fuente, and Nukie Timtiman. Again, don't forget to follow them on Instagram. Guys, baka you want to share your Instagrams or anything that you'd like to promote, or maybe you can also share where they can follow the band para do sa mga who are not into indie bands yet. Go ahead. Maybe you can start with Dan. Go ahead.
Ayun, so follow nyo ako on Instagram at Rallyugalinad, pero para mas madali, Daniel Aguilar backwards. Tapos facebook.com/Rallyugalinad or Daniel Aguilar backwards. Also follow the bands I shoot for sa IV of Spades, yung account nila. IV of Spades, search nyo na lang. And at the same time, follow nyo rin si Zild. Yan. Sa kanyang mga socials.
And Nukie.
And pakapakit kayo lagi.
Ayan. I'm on Instagram at Nukie.2, and I'm on Facebook at Nukie's Visual Diary, and Twitter at Nukie Timtiman. And yeah, follow Muni the band, Kamara, and the Ridleys.
Tsaka yung zine mo, baka you can...
Yeah, my zine. I keep forgetting. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's Just Pass. Available lang siya Just Pass, so wanna grab a copy. Nasa Maginhawa yung Just Pass.
And Karen, ito pumasok na si Clarence. Hello daw. Ayan, go ahead.
Hello, Clarence. I'm on Instagram as Rocket, and follow Ted Edit and Ben and Ben. And Ben and Ben has a YouTube Fan Fest show on October 11, so watch out for that also. Yeah.
Thank you. On that note, we'd like to thank our guests. Salamat sa pag-share ng time niyo tonight. I know maraming kaganapan ngayon, pero we appreciate you sharing your stories and your experience with us tonight. And again, don't forget to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, and this will also be on Spotify tomorrow. Just search for Film Factor Podcast. This has been Born on Film on Air. My name is Franz. Thank you for joining us. We will be back for Masterclass, where we'll talk about visual storytelling and creative composition. And tonight, ang topic natin is ethics in photography. Again, thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Portraits have always been what's interesting to me.
I'm happy to greet this gathering of motion picture engineers.
Art is photography and sharing. Taking what you see and sharing it with others.
Don't be afraid. Get out there, shoot some film.
I think automation can be a catalyst.
Photography isn't denied.
Moving, inspiring, redefine moments to create lasting memories. Live events is an experience industry. to feel the impact of a crisis. We now stand united. We will rise together. With your support, we will experience live again.